we edit all of this out, please? Can we just chop all of this out?
Chop. Here we go. That's going to be annoying.
Shall I do one?
You do one.
3, 2.
Hi. It's curtains up. Welcome to the circus. The glitz, the glam. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't miss it.
Well, hello, friends. Welcome to the biggest little show. I'm Yana Groves, and it's my pleasure to dazzle you with tales from the heady world of entertainment. The industry bosses, ballers, and brawlers. I'll be chin-wagging with the jugglers, the backstage bandits, and the tightrope walkers of this deeply colourful industry. My guest today is a firework. And when I say that, I truly mean she is an explosion of creativity. I've seen it myself. She'll make you feel like a glitter bomb went off in your heart. If you've seen it, I've probably made it, is her tagline. And that's no lie. She's executive produced blockbuster shiny floor shows like Dancing with the Stars, The X Factor. We have her to thank for tearjerkers as well, and the love makers, like Farmer Wants a Wife, etc., etc. She created Q&A for the ABC as well. She steered the iconic Big Brother franchise for 5 whole seasons and is now sharing her shine with the corporate world as the go-to guru of self-worth and branding with her enterprise, Absolutely Farrelly. Don't even get me started on the regal roles of BBC Executive Editor of Format Entertainment and Director of TV Content at Bloomtime Media. She's pretty fantastic. Welcome, Maz Farrelly.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. You do have a choice of people, so I'm always very delighted if anyone invites me anywhere. I'm always embarrassingly available and grateful.
You go to the opening of an envelope, won't you, Marilyn?
The opening of a jar.
I just called you Malali Falala.
Malali.
Well, that's the podcast today, and thanks so much
Drink
for joining us.
Good night.
And good night. Maz, I have to ask, first of all, who are you wearing?
Oh, so these I bought with my friend Graham in a shop in Athens. And this, I don't know, but it's very comfortable. It's a very kind jumpsuit because there's plenty of room.
You don't need plenty of room.
It's nice though, isn't it? On a hot day, it's nice to have a little bit of space, a little bit of breathing space.
Well, luckily, and it's good to share, we are here in sunny, beautiful Australia. We're coming into autumn.
You'd never know.
You'd never bloody know.
Because we come from a place where you know it's autumn.
That's
when
right.
autumn arrives, you're aware.
So we're glowing a little bit. A little bit of glowing.
And then you add in menopause.
Oh, yes. There's that as well.
I know.
I carry a fan with me at all times,
Someone
wherever
who
I go.
admires you.
Yes.
I like
Just
that
going,
someone telling me I'm
you're
great.
amazing, Yana. You're amazing.
Everyone
Ooh,
needs a fan.
your bum looks good in that.
Exactly.
All of that stuff.
It does, by the way.
Thanks. You might wonder why we are in such a glorious place.
It crossed my mind as I was walking towards it, yes.
I have recently, if you haven't heard me bang on about it, written a little chapter in a book.
Yes, I have heard you. and isn't it number 1 on Amazon?
It's number
Unless
one.
I'm very much mistaken, thank you.
Number 1 international bestseller.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things that you go, yeah, but that must be a little bit of a joke.
I know. Here's the funny thing. We're very good at providing ourselves with negative talk. But when we do something that's really positive, it's quite difficult to say, I did a really good job. Like, we kind of think, well, obviously it's because there were no other books available at that point, and maybe everyone's laptop was jammed.
And
my
mum
mother
bought all of them.
7,000 copies of it.
She did. She really
I know.
did.
Anytime anyone asks me to buy the book that I wrote 1,000 years ago in 20 minutes, I'm always really astonished. And if they write back to me and said, I enjoyed your book, I have to look twice. Did you? So you actually read
book?
it? My God. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, you know, look, I'm not here to toot my own horn, but I'm definitely here
to toot your horn.
I'm here to explain why we're sitting here and why I love this venue. So this is the Sydney Spiegel tent. We are in the entertainment quarter here in Sydney.
It's very appropriate.
Amazing shows happen here.
Yes.
And I cannot believe my luck that they're so kindly allowing our podcast, The Biggest Little Show, to be held here.
Yeah, and also The Voice was over there, The X Factor was over there, and then the studios are 10 seconds away. So Great Gatsby, so many big movies made here. So
Yeah.
it does feel very creative.
We are in the heart of entertainment world.
Yeah, in the entertainment quarter.
Entertainment quarter. And it's not by quarters, it's not by halves, it's a whole place
It's
of
a
entertainment.
whole lot of fun.
So getting back to us,
My favourite topic.
I have, as you said, we've worked together for years and years on several shows. And I'm always enthralled and amazed and sort of inspired by your journey in the industry. You've had an adventure yourself. We all somehow find a family within this creative world. How important has that been in your journey?
So when you make live TV, it's a bit like flying a plane. Obviously not. But it is a bit like flying a plane that when it's happening, and you can't be doing two things. And live TV, when it's live, you can't fix it in the edit, but you can when you're recording something, because that wasn't quite right. Do you mind if we do it 85 more times? When it's live, it's live. So you have to surround yourself with people you trust and people that you can speak to in shorthand and people that you know have been through stuff that is difficult. So when things go wrong, and by the way, on live TV, things always go wrong, from Free the Refugees to, whatever it is, falling off air. You have to think very quickly, and you have to be surrounded by people who are calm, cool, creative thinkers, and also fun. This is your life.
You've hit the nail on the head there. That sense of family, is
because it's hard work.
It's very bloody hard work.
I mean, we're not down a mine, and we're not care workers. I get it, but the hours are long, and the pressure is intense, and the hours are really long. You work every single day.
Do you have any regrets? How would you do it differently if you had your time over again? Because I certainly feel that working in this industry has been such an enriching experience. It's also been terrifying and blood-curdling at the same time.
Everything. It's an entire comedy, rom-com, horror. It's every single genre, all in one day, sometimes in 1 hour. So when friends send their kids to me to say they're thinking about working in movies or TV, I genuinely say this, and everyone will hate me for it, but this is what I think. Marry someone really rich. So you don't do it for the money, so that you can get up and walk away at any point. If you're relying on TV to pay your mortgage, you've got to stay at work. And I remember one Big Brother, and I probably shouldn't tell you this story, but I'm going to. So one particular Big Brother, I think this is my 5th one, and I just was over it. I was just over, working every day, and I just wanted to go home, spend time with my boyfriend, and eat biscuits and drink tea. I just didn't want to be there anymore. And it was halfway through, and I said to our little buddy Nick Cahoon, who was Big Brother on Big Brother, I said, I need to get fired because they won't let me out of my contract. I need to be fired. What can I do? And he said, oh God, I don't know. So we'll give it some thought. Come back to me in an hour. Give it some thought. And he came back to me and he said, the only thing I can think of is if you actually had a poo in reception. I think if you had a poo in reception, they would fire you. So every day I walked through reception, I would think, I wonder if today's the day. And I told the people who worked in reception, every day they go, are you walking through, Maz? Are you stopping? I'd say, no, I'm going to keep going today, but thank you so much for the reminder. And every time I walked through reception, I would think, is today the day? But then I thought, if I do that, I'll be known as that person all my life.
You'd be known as the pooer.
I don't want that.
And I'm not sure if I'd have you on this podcast. I don't know what we'd be talking about.
Well, you talk about that, because that would be my big thing.
But that would be and then I pooed
it's good to
in
have,
reception.
So my big thing in life.
And since then, I've been living under a bridge.
You have to have a headline. You have to have a headline in life.
Yes.
I mean, you don't want it to be that one, but you do have to have a headline. And that's my big thing. When I go into corporates, they say, you've got to be known for something. You've got to have a mission statement. I do not want that one to be mine. So I just kept going and I did the entire series. But I did think about it.
It's so funny you say that in terms of your headline, your catchphrase, because it's one of my questions.
Well, we do it, don't we, in casting? Because you've done certainly as much casting as me, and I think probably more. And someone one day said to me, how many people do you think you've interviewed? And I started to add it up, and I stopped at 12,000. So but you'd be the same. It's just you haven't added it up.
Oh God, that's given me. My tummy actually flipped.
But it's crazy. So people come into the room. You spend about 3 minutes with them. So in 3 minutes, you decide whether that person is going to be on your TV show. It's a very short time. So you've got to be on your A game, paying attention to them. And when that person leaves the room, what they want to happen is that you write down a headline. And that headline can be anything. One guy, I did a show called The Recruit, and the guy was walking out the door. And I said, so I said to him, anything interesting about you? And he told me all this stuff, great at cricket and marvellous at, AFL. And then as he was leaving, he turned around and he said, oh, and Princess Mary's my cousin, Queen Mary. And I went,
Holy
get
moly.
yourself back in here, my friend. Get yourself, don't hide the lead.
Don't you leave.
That's the first thing. Someone said, oh, I took Daniel Craig's virginity. And you go, but you don't leave.
Serious?
Yeah, you don't just throw that. That's your headline. I'd have it on a T-shirt. People... So whatever it is in life, you need to be remembered. And casting, we will put that name, that person up on the wall. So if it's Big Brother, there'll be 60 names on the wall. There'll be a photo, a name, and then a headline.
Absolutely.
What is your headline? What do people remember when you leave the room? What do they remember about you? And they have to remember something.
And they have to remember something.
Attention is everything.
So you can't, exactly. So do you want your headline to be the pooer, or do you want your headline to be, first woman to land on Mars?
I'd rather the latter. Hence the fact that I didn't. And by the way, Hassan, can we edit all of this out, please? Can we just chop all of this out? Chop.
By the way, that's Hassan, who is working here with me and helping us create this incredible podcast, The Biggest Little Show.
I know. And just quietly, I'm quite nicely lit, because I'll tell you what, I don't look like this in real life. When you see me in real life, you're like that. Oh! So thank you so much, Hassan. I went to a birthday at the weekend, my friend Anne Massey. And Anne was celebrating her 70th. And I walked in and I looked at her and I just thought, oh my dear Lord, she was wearing an off-the-shoulder, long silver sequin dress. She's 70, she looked like Jennifer Lopez. She looked so incredible. And I was saying to her, how do you look like that? She said, it's hard work. Let me tell you, it is hard work. It is not easy. I work out every day, especially when I don't want to. I don't drink, I don't smoke. She said, I used to back in the old days when everyone did. And so I just decided I'd turn my life around. And I was staring at her and thinking, I'm going to give myself a year to get really fit and to feel like I'm really strong. And you think about it, we used to do it. So when Big Brother was coming up with the X Factor, we'd say to the entire team, eat really well, get lots of sleep, get fit. It's like the Olympics. You've got to be absolutely ready. You've got to be on your A game. You can't be tired doing that show because you're working all the time.
All the time.
So, I do feel like zeitgeisty, people are becoming healthier and sleeping more. I know, which is something you don't do much of in telly.
You certainly don't. Well, let's hope that's changing. And I wanted to ask you, actually, speaking of changing industry, what has, in your mind, changed since your early days in the industry? You started off, or one of your first TV gigs was The Big Breakfast.
Yeah.
This is, I fangirl over you, because that was one of the most impressive and memorable
telly-changing and culture-changing
shows.
Yeah, I feel like it was the first sort of reality show that we had real people on. And we had the family of the week, and they were just an ordinary family who just came and spent the week with us. But I think I was surrounded on that show by really clever people. So Charlie Parsons came up with Survivor, of course, and The Word, and The Big Breakfast, and a host of other shows. Sebastian Scott ran it for a number of years, and he ran it right at the beginning. He was a genius. And Chris Evans, I would happily pie in the face, but he also was a genius. He was the best producer I've ever worked with. On a good day, the nicest person I've ever met. On a bad day, he was the devil. And you didn't know which version you were getting. But that, it kept you on your toes, not in a good way, but it did keep you on your toes. And he was brutal. So you became very good very quickly, or you left. And I was surrounded by really smart people. And Sebastian was very kind to me, and he gave me lots of different jobs. So my first job was researcher, and Chris made me be good because he would, question everything. And, is there a better way? Is there a funnier way of doing this? And I'd sit there thinking, is there a funnier way? Is there a funnier way? And then I'd come back and they'd go, I think this is funnier. And you go, yes, it is. This is great. So it was a great learning curve. But Sebastian moved me from job to job. And I'd say anyone who's thinking of starting in this beautiful industry, move from job to job, learn everything. And then when you're in the edit suite and someone says you can't do that, or Soundo say you can't do that, or someone says you can't do that, you know you can because you've done it. So he moved me from job to job to job to job. And I was a movie reviewer. Like, that was my full-time job. And then he promoted me, and I begged him not to. She said, I love this job. I used to go to movies and then write a 3-minute script a week and interview really famous people and go to all these premieres and stuff. I mean, the best job ever. It wasn't like a job. It was literally like I'd wake up every day and go, lottery win, thank you so much. And then very kindly, he said to me, okay, so now you've got that skill and you've gone and interviewed all these famous people and you're not afraid of them anymore. So now you're ready to be a producer, like a big time, proper producer.
It's quite tremendous when you look back at how you were feeling when you're wet behind the ears. I often...
Oh, you feel like you don't know anything.
Oh, my God. I feel sorry for little me. I really do.
I mean,
I'm so scared.
Sebastian did this really great thing with me that I knew I had good ideas because the shows were good and, my shows would rate very well, but I didn't really like saying them out loud in case, this week they weren't good ideas.
Yeah, of course. And it does change, right?
Yeah, and I didn't have the confidence, I guess, to hear no, whereas now, I couldn't care less about someone saying no to me. You think, which remind me to tell you a story about that one. And one day, so I used to just give him ideas at the end of the meeting. So I would hand him a sheet of ideas, and every week he would say, these are really good ideas, and we will do all of them. I'd say, thank you so much. And then one week, we were walking into the meeting, and he said, if you're thinking of giving me that sheet of ideas at the end, don't. You've got to say them out loud in the meeting, or go home and don't come back. And I said, all right, could I just give you the... And he said, no, if you're going to be a producer and you're going to be in this industry, you've got to be brave. You've got to be brave, you've got to hear no. You've got to know that not all of your ideas are great, and that's fine. Because not all your ideas are great, and it's fine. So
and
you've
it's
got to
not
say
personal.
them. No.
Most of the time.
And, people were brutal on The Big Breakfast, but also really funny.
Yeah.
They would say, I think it's a great idea if we were, the most boring show on earth. And you'd go, oh, my God, I can't believe you said that. And then we'd all laugh about it. And you'd kind of go, yes. But it was good training for hearing no. And the moment you think your voice is the next voice in the room, it's terrifying. But you just got to do it. And you only need to be brave for 10 seconds. That's all. You don't need to be brave all your life. Just very, very rarely you'll be called upon to be brave. I don't believe there's anyone who can't be brave for 10 seconds. And guess what? You're not going to get everything right. And that's fine. The only bad ideas are when you turn up with none. You turn up with no ideas, unacceptable. You turn up with 5 bad ones. I don't mind that because they'll get better.
That's
fine.
right. And every idea can be grown and morphed and it can blossom.
Yeah, you'll say
start from
something. And then someone else, Hassan will say, oh my God, well, how about if we did this?
Yes.
And then, Shelley will say, but how about this?
Yes.
And suddenly you've got this great idea because the family have built on that one idea. So it's always worth saying, I think. Not all of them are going to work. Some of them will be genius.
And speaking of ideas and sharing ideas and having the floor and being brave, you've sat around some of the most powerful boardrooms in media.
Yes.
How was that experience for you? How did you hold your own?
I look back and I think Sebastian was really good at pushing me forward. I realised that it was my job. So it is hard, to be in a room with Donald Trump and say, do you mind doing that again? But, try and be a bit more interesting. I've had King Charles on my shows. I've had everyone from Beyonce to Snoop Dogg to scientists to astronauts to everyone. Because if you do a lot of daily shows, you meet an enormous number of people.
Of course.
And some of them are terrifying. Most of them aren't. And what I think they understand is that my job and your job is to make them brilliant. That's the only reason we exist. And that's why, I work now with CEOs and they get it. They go, my job is to be in the shadows and make sure you're incredible. Because if this show works really, really well and everyone is shining and wonderful, you forget there's a producer. And that's when I know I've done a really good job. is, when people forget that you're there. That's when you're really good at it, I think. You don't notice sound and how wonderful soundos are until you can't hear something. And then you think, oh my God, you do an incredible job. You go, yeah, they do. Or, you can't see someone because the lighting's awful.
Yeah,
and then you realise how brilliant lighting people are.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And here we sit with this podcast and Hassan's incredible talent. And that's why we're able to do this.
So if he doesn't goof up, we'll completely forget that Hassan
Don't
is here.
mess it
Don't
up,
mess it up,
Hassan.
Hassan.
Just joking. I love you.
I love you until it goes wrong. Then you're dead to me.
We love you, Hassan.
In the way of television.
Exactly. That's how it
Keeping with
goes.
telly.
So you are now in the corporate world.
Yes.
Growing people or giving people those tidbits.
Little X factor.
It's all those little nuggets of experience that you have.
Yeah, that we forget. So we forget. When I finished making telly, I knew I didn't want to make telly anymore. It was like I woke up one day and I thought, I don't love you anymore. And I can't explain why. I just woke up and I just didn't love telly anymore. And I thought, well, what's next? And I didn't really know. And then I realised that our jobs are to make everyone and everything interesting and to get attention in a really, really, really big way. So the shows that we've made, nobody beats us. We are number one every single time. And there's a reason that happens. It's because we think very differently and we work a bit harder. And when you think differently and you work a bit harder, those are the two things that will make things work. And we have lots of things that we do. Like I have an equation, which is if you are entertaining, people are engaged. If they're engaged, they'll take action. So if you're entertaining and people watch your show and you say, would you like to vote this person out? Or would you like to vote this person to win? People vote for people they don't know and outcomes that don't affect them, and they give us money to do it. And I was in a meeting with a government department, and at the end of the meeting, and it was about some content, and at the end of the meeting they said, what else do you do? And I said, I get people to vote. And you could see this light bulb going off. They went, oh yeah. And everyone, open your ears, because this is my favourite fact about television. More young people voted for the winner of Britain's Got Talent than in the general election in the UK. Because in the UK, of course, you don't have to vote. You have a choice. More young people wanted that dancing dog to win than they cared about education or wars or climate change or hospitals.
Their future.
The future of the world. And that's because we're incredible storytellers and we engage audiences in a way they want to be engaged, and politicians don't. They lecture us and it doesn't work. So I do lots of work with big corporates, helping them to engage their audience, because people think they don't need to. And I would say to them, when was the last time you needed to be a bit more dull? When was the last time you didn't need an audience? When was the last time you thought, I wish our clients found us dull? Never. Because attention is everything. The world has changed so much. And it used to be about what you knew, and then it was about who you knew, and now it's about who knows you. That is the way the world has changed.
That's beautifully put.
Thank
sentence
you.
there, because
Good night.
and we're out. If I could drop this mic, this would be dropped.
But it's expensive, so we're not going
and
to drop it.
I don't want to, and I've hired it, so that's going to be
then
awkward.
You won't get your money back.
That's going to be awkward. No, but this is fascinating. I love what you said
So
there.
when I was young and all
give
around
it to
here
us
was
again.
fields, it used to be about what you knew. So you would go to university and you would learn stuff and you would be an expert. But of course now the world has changed and every single thing you need to know is available to you. So being the person who knows that information is no longer valuable enough. Now, it used to be about who you knew. So I know Yana, of course I could. You have a chat with her and she can get you a job in television because she knows everyone, and that has changed. Now it's about who knows you. And you know this from casting. So if we have a choice between someone who has 100,000 followers and 10,000 and they're equal to us,
in terms of character
in
and
terms
talent
of character and
fit
story,
yes.
If they are similar and it's a kind of choice between do I want a vodka martini or a gin martini, then you'll go with the one that has the greatest following, of course,
Sure.
because they come with an audience and they come with influence.
Sure.
So the world has very much changed. It's gone from what you know and who you know to who knows you. And that's why it is very important to have your headline. Who knows you?
Yes.
What do they remember about you?
Yes.
And it's got to be something that is powerful and wonderful and gets you more work, really, if that's what you want, or gets you more love, if that's what you want, or, whatever it is that you want, more influence. So, what's great is every room you walk into is a different room. And when you're smart, you adapt to that room. It's like temperature. If you walk into a room that's hot, you wear something a bit cooler. If you walk into a room that's cool, you wear something a bit hotter. So you have to change you for every room you walk into if you're really, really smart. And your headline changes ever so slightly for every... And culturally, when you go around the world, and I speak around the world at conferences, it's very different. I mean, it's not very different, it's subtly different. And I have to keep reminding myself of that self-deprecating humour is great in the UK and it works in Australia. It works less well in the States because very often people think you actually mean it. And
No,
you go, no, I don't think that about myself. I'm actually just joking.
Oh, I can't do that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Whereas in the UK, you can say anything about yourself and people go, oh, that's so funny, and they know you don't mean it.
Yes.
So I find it really interesting. Keeps you on your toes.
Fascinating. It's been fascinating sitting with you.
And you.
And
You're
having
a joy.
you here.
A joy.
I am passionate, as you are, about passing on what we know, and our experiences to others who may be starting in the industry or who want to shine in their careers. So
Yes.
I'm really glad that I have you in my life, and
I'm very glad to have you in my life.
and I know that all the very fortunate producers and crew and people who've worked with you over the years also feel the same way.
I hope so. You do your best and you think it's all you've got. And for anyone who's listening, you just do your best. It's all you got. And sometimes you are the best and sometimes you're not. But if you do your best, you can sleep soundly in your bed. And also be kind to yourself. People talk about resilience a lot. I don't really like that very much. I think don't push yourself too hard if you don't want to. Just do your best. Some days that won't be great. Some days it'll be amazing. But it's all you got.
If you were to pack 3 things, or if you were to advise someone what to pack to run away with the circus, what would those 3 things be?
Your fun. So I would make sure that you gathered all of your fun together and you put it in a suitcase. Your kindness, because I think kindness is a real superpower that is underestimated. And your ability to understand other people, because if you're putting on a circus act, or indeed anything, you don't think about yourself, you think about your audience, and that's what smart people do. They don't think about what they want to make, they think about what people want to watch, or eat, or wear. You think about your audience and you think, what do they want? How can I give it to them in a way that's palatable? So I would say fun, kindness, and a real care and respect for your audience, and then take yourself off to the circus.
Bada bing, bada bang, entertainment, boom. See, there was that glitter bomb I was telling you about. I hope you feel it. Thank you, Maz.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We've got plenty more to come, many more episodes. Don't forget, we've got lots of content, courses. Don't forget, like, subscribe, link in bio, all the fun stuff. Thank you for supporting us, and we'll see you next time. Mwah! Stand out and be outstanding. Wow, 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 wow. This is how excited I get when I'm Maz Farrelly. Thank you. And thank you. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.